Henry is a slave at Dutch Henry's bar until John Brown comes along and frees him. He ends up going with John, who thinks he's a girl but does so grudgingly. He tries to run away but ends up getting enslaved in the Deep South and realizes how much that sucks. Then John Brown rescues him, and during their journey they meet up with people like Harriet Tubman and Frederick Douglass. Eventually, John Brown raids Harper's Ferry, but the mission ultimately fails, getting Old Man Brown captured and killed. The good Lord bird is a very rare woodpecker. This bird kills dead trees to help new trees grow. It is a metaphor for John Brown himself, who is trying to get rid of slavery so that Negroes can have equality in society. The quest takes place in 3 main locations, each location having a unique setting that serves a different purpose for the plot. The first is the Kansas frontier, which is still wild and untamed, and still waiting to be claimed. Another key element to the beginning of the story is that it happens in the middle of the Bleeding Kansas movement, which had abolitionists and rebels fighting each other, both sides believing they had a righteous cause. In many ways, this setting is a reflection of John Brown himself, as he is also a wild man, but on a deeper level, his beliefs never seem to change. Although John Brown believes himself to be a friend and servant of the Negro people, he fails to recognize that not all slaves are better off free, and some would actually rather prefer to be enslaved. The second part of Henry's journey is set in Pikesville Hotel, which creates an atmosphere of chaos and lust. The majority of this part follows Henry as he begins to truly experience the horrors of slavery. Everything in this hotel and town is built on the backs of slaves. The main attraction to the hotel is a prostitute named Pie, and Pie is a masochist. This desire symbolizes the submission that a slave is subjected to. The theme of lust also refers to the mental and physical bondage that Negroes experience when enslaved. Most of the residents at the hotel are also drunks, leading to absolute chaos down in the bar below. This reflects the inner turmoil that occurs within the slaves. In order to survive, the slaves were forced to suppress their anger, leading to a conflict between the emotions they truly felt and the emotions they had to publicly show. The third part of the story takes place in the northern states. People know the North as the side that fought against slavery during the Civil War. Ironically, this setting is used as juxtaposition to expose the hypocritical nature of abolitionists. Notably, Frederick Douglass takes a lot of fire for not being willing to take action. You know you have yourself a book when Frederick Douglass is the comedy relief of this story. He is criticized for being a great orator, but not a man of action. A key distinction is made between Northern abolitionists and the abolitionists that serve in Brown's army, specifically their willingness to act on their beliefs. This book looks at some very dark themes. Along the way, readers learn that prejudice is everywhere, even within people that are supposedly progressives. We also learn that we can't assume that we know anything. The thing that makes it so awesome and fun to read is its use of humor and absurdity. And that humor and absurdity is what helps it talk about potentially the darkest topic in American history in a very unique and funny way. John Brown is on a quest to end slavery. However, at the end of his quest, he finds out that the Negro population isn't ready to fight for itself because the shackles of slavery are mental as well as physical. Despite being so misguided, John Brown gave it his best effort and fought for the ideals that he stood for, which is really what counts in the end. Because of his actions, he leaves a legacy that eventually does lead to the end of slavery.